a game really did that sort of thing. When I talk about piling 8 people in a vehicle and driving across a planet's surface, or everybody being on a ship, and some are manning the turrets, and some's flying, and some's running around repairing crap because you're in a battle. And they're like, it just blows their mind. So,
Yeah, I was sadly a little too young to appreciate Star Wars Galaxy in its heyday. I'm only in my mid-30s, so
you're fired. Get out.
yeah. I also missed the golden age of Final Fantasy XI as well, which was another huge like community-centric like party kind of game.
Yeah, that's my other favorite MMO besides Star Wars Galaxies. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was not paying attention. What was the other favorite?
11. Final Fantasy 11.
Final Fantasy 11.
I was saying, I'm in my mid-30s, so I was like kind of a little bit too young to appreciate both of those in their like heyday and like when they were really going. It was only until later that I would have actually had an interest in them.
I'm not even sure I played Final Fantasy. I stopped at 10.
Yeah, I played them both when I was like 13, 14. They were awesome.
Yeah, 11 had a huge focus on, well, in its prime, had a huge focus on partying up. Like, you had to group up to do everything, pretty much everything.
Yeah, it was a game that was forced you to make community, to make friends. And also just the class system was so complex. You'd have 200 or 300 different spells. I mean, it was awesome. Just a great game.
Yeah, which is why, because I missed that, and then I eventually kind of found my preference was for something like that, which is why I kind of gravitated towards this, because it has a bigger focus on community.
I really hope
I think.
that... I'm sorry, go ahead.
Good. Oh, I played Final Fantasy 14, and it gets kind of wild that there's so many things. It's like you'll see a Lalafell, which is like the short child characters running around like a full paladin, and you're wondering how.
The gripes with 14 are more just that like you don't need to know anyone. You can just do whatever you want, and you can do end game content and never really actually like make any real connections.
Yeah, in a lot of ways, it's the opposite of 11.
Yeah, it's rough.
I was going to say that I really do hope Stars Reach is able to do the multi-person vehicles.
Yeah.
I know the ship interiors is a thing, but I hope that they can go beyond that and do multi-person ships, multi-person vehicles, because, that's just the coolest thing. Round up your posse, hop in your vehicle, and go cruising.
Yeah, I want to do the Captain Picard thing on the bridge.
Oh, yeah.
Make it so.
Hey, first thing everybody gets to.
That also goes back into like giving purpose to like non-combat professions for combat of like you're in a ship together, you're being attacked, maybe the crafters can make something or man turrets that they maybe don't have proficiency in, but they're kind of okay at it.
Yeah, actually, that's another. What do you have planned for planetary travel? You building ships? Purchasing?
Initially, the travel that we have is what we're going to see, and hopefully that'll get past that point pretty much. So we're basically teleporting between zones. We're never going to get rid of the idea that we have to load between zones. Just the way we handle our sim in MMO, it's just not reasonable for us to actually have this world aspect. Traveling. You guys have talked about it a little bit of having multiple people in the same, ship and stuff like that while traveling. Sounds like a wonderful idea. Functionality-wise, has a lot of problems because our internet is not great.
Sticking 60 people in one spot. Yeah.
Trying to keep people in sync
Synchronicity
is a problem. So, while it is doable to do that in an MMO for a small number of people and try to sync them, and you will still see problems. Trying to have a 6-10, person ship holding that many people all traveling in the same situation is that's a challenge that I don't know if we have the ability to solve anytime soon.
It would
Well,
look
you
like a
had
pair of
Video
fluid.
about that.
Couldn't you steal the code from Jump to Light Speed? Or is that locked away behind doors you can't get to?
Well, that is certainly locked behind doors that we can't get to because, being two different companies were involved with that and such. So,
Oh. Bummer.
Could you
Would
just
it-
copy the functionality?
I was gonna say, would it be easier to just kind of do it like Planet Side did it, where like you're in, quote unquote, in the vehicle, but you're just kind of like not really there. You're just like locked in your seat.
there's ways we can fake it and mess with it. What does that sound, sir? Sure.
Great.
I'll meet you guys for a second.
Yeah, cosmic rays look cool. But they don't really. Just kind of. Doesn't seem to really affect the anything.
I think Dave said it lowers adhesion.
Gives you a bit of radiation too. It's kind of bracing.
It's fine. It's a healthy dose that passes right through your body.
Sorry about that. Feedback. I know. On white calls, must answer.
We're running right by me. There's something going on over there.
What are they running to or running from?
That said, Jules has appeared.
Oh no.
The boss.
What's Jules? You should find that out.
Should.
Am I even ready for a fight? Well, why not?
We're always ready.
Luckily, death doesn't mean a whole lot right now in this game.
Right, I find also combat is a lot more fun in groups. So if there's like 4 or 5 people there, it's pretty cool.
It definitely feels more fun because you're less running backwards
Right.
in the combat, and it feels like you're actually like, oh, hey, there's power-ups. I should run forward and I should grab those and try to help out. And because I mean that's the natural thing everybody does when they sit there in a solo situation is, oh, if I just run backwards and try to shoot them, I can survive.
Yeah.
Oh,
And that's exactly what we want to try to prevent.
You can engage in the combat. Is there any plans to have like a easy mode or something like that? Like I don't know how to describe it. Like difficulty rating, essentially, just to engage more people into the
I mean,
game.
combat's one of those weird things in that situation. We're not gonna, make a server or something like that the combat is different. Everything's going to be the same. But what you are going to find is that as you travel further from the civilized worlds into more of the wild worlds, things are going to get more dangerous. So that's your choice to do so.
And I think like different weapons, because they function differently, will kind of, have different choices for people and how much difficulty they want.
Yeah, there's definitely the situation of like the Omni Blaster allows you to hit a lot easier because it does home, as opposed to using things like the drones. But the drones definitely feel much more powerful.
Yeah, it
you've
takes
got
more
the skill to handle
use.
it. Yeah. There will definitely be a ramp up in there, and you'll have your players that are really expert players and feel the combat is way too simplistic, and you'll have the ones that are less fortunate in their skills of combat and will feel, oh, this is too difficult. We see it already, and I've said a few times, like our AI and our creatures that we have set up right now are completely throwaway creatures right now. They are just us experimenting with things. None of these are what they're actually going to be like in the end. We'll use parts of them and rebuild them over time, but even now we get, I can't get a consensus right now with our players to say, oh, it's too easy or too hard, because it's across the board.
It's pretty well mixed right now from my perspective. Like you definitely ramp up the difficulty. on some of it.
Yeah, we just need better ways to ramp it up though, because just adding more damage that they do and more hit points to them is not adding better difficulty.
Which is really nice to hear, honestly, because I hate when games do that.
Clearly, they need more screwed up special attacks.
Yeah.
Yes, and if we had more time for doing like animations, we had more art time. You know, I would love to do some really messed up attacks that are like basically crowd killers and sweeper moves. But as long as they need to have some kind of indication that it's happening, there needs to be an alert of like something that's happening, and then it needs to be, you know, they're doing their Goku power up, you know, kind of thing. But
There's
without
like
that
that.
kind of messaging, it's really hard to do things like that.
I think I've seen a few comedy sketches or cartoons where people have done it's like, maybe if you stop, you know, putting those red things out, you can kill the players easier. And then the boss is going, oh, let's try that.
Yeah.
And of course, the players are getting killed left and right.
There's no naming for spoilers, but in Undertale, there's the one boss that throws everything at you immediately because he's like, well, why wouldn't I?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I just throw my hardest attack at you right away?
Get it over with.
Yeah.
The one thing I do like with the event system that we just recently put in is that it allows us to basically put a little bit more dangerous mobs out there, and they're not as predictable. Yes, you can still cheese the heck out of them, and you know what their basic attack is after you've done a few of them, but it kind of focuses it a little bit more. And we can do, you know, crowd sweepers if we want, that wander the zone while they're up, just wiping out everybody if we have to, but they'll go away after a period of time.
Yeah. And if you put harder stuff in, people will be forced to strategize more and actually like coordinate, and you will say, hey, can someone put a camp down so we can all bind to it, and so we're not far from the fight when we respawn. I find players will rise to the occasion if you challenge them. It's just not everyone, I guess, likes being challenged.
Yeah, you won't please everybody in those situations.
30,000 hours. This game is shit.
Right.
Yeah, I don't even count how much time I spent on MMOs. So.
Yeah, any game after spending, you hit like / like playtime, and it's just like, well, I didn't want to know that.
Gone.
Yeah, when you start doing the math and you start looking at it going, oh wait, I could have like had a second career doing this.
Yeah, I really felt bad after I did /played in WoW.
Yeah, it's rough.
I think it was like 4 years or something like that, playtime.
Yeah.
I justified is there was a lot of AFK time in there, you know.
Yeah, there's a lot of me sleeping next to the computer. But still, it's still crazy.
The other thing that got me a few months ago and stuff, when Path of Exile 2 went into their early access, and they basically, you know, gave you the free early access if you had spent a certain amount of money in Path of Exile 1. And when I started going calculating that up and going, oh, well, okay, that's not great.
Yeah.
That's okay. Game developers need to make money too.
You had fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I grew up in the era of having subscriptions to games like EverQuest and other games like that and stuff, paying a monthly fee and stuff, and I find it interesting now. Of course, I've been on the other side now. I'm in the in-game industry itself, but I find it interesting when players sit there and go, "Oh my God, I'm gonna pay $50 for this game. I can't believe I'm gonna pay $50 for a game." But you go to a movie and you spend $70 for 3 hours, and we're giving you 70, 100 plus hours, of entertainment that keeps you. I don't understand the math here.
Video games, cheapest entertainment in the world.
That was fun.
It's amazing that they held $60 for so long. To be honest. That's console stuff. So.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised that it stayed at $60 for so long. $65 was the going price for like 15, 20 years almost.
My friends were
another thing. Are you?
I spent $200 on an Xbox game.
Sorry. Are you planning to go console in this, or?
That is the hope and dream.
Okay.
We've had people do Steam Deck already.
You're still gonna do computer though, right?
Yeah. AC is our primary target that we have, but we want to be able to port everything over. You'll notice, like our UI and stuff, a lot of elements are designed with the idea of a controller attached.
As someone who plays on PC with a controller often, I do appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm bummed that we broke it a little while back, because it actually worked pretty well for a long time, and then we broke it when we made some changes to our UI and to our character controller, so you can't just plug and play it right now.
Yeah.
But we'll get that fixed.
Sorry, I'm asking so many questions.
Fine.
Don't worry, we'll cap soon.
But you guys have like any plans in place to pivot, or like if something becomes extremely popular in your game, are you going to like target that audience more, or is it just going to be what your dream of a picture here?
I mean, there's no intention for us to pivot a great deal from the design of what we want, but if we find that our design is bad, we certainly won't try to stick with it.
Fair. You're saying you're not going to go from zombie survival to, I don't know, battle royale?
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about.
Are you thinking an H1Z1 here? What are you talking about here?
Specifically Fortnite, but
Fortnite was originally a zombie board game.
Yeah, I was actually interested when it was going to be like a co-op zombie game.
Same.
I was on the free list.
Yeah, I played it for a bit like that, and then I stopped playing, and then heard about the battle royale. I was like, what is going on?
It's like, this is cracked. I'm done. I can't handle this anymore.
Right.
I mean, that's certainly not our
terrible at battle royale. So,
though Raf's talked about it a little bit in the past and stuff, that while we are out designing a game, we're also designing a platform to dive from it. So the idea is that once we have our game system fully in place, we have the ability to create additional games based off of our same engine and our simulation system and stuff that we have.
Yeah,
so it's not to say that we launch this in a year, 2 years, get it to a point where we think this is great and it's running well and we're maintaining it, that we then go, hey, let's go make a zombie survival game. Let's go make a battle royale, kind of game.
Yeah, that's probably a studio thing or something. But man, I really like this. You guys put an incredible amount of work into the environment.
I never got back to Jules, did I?
Playtest.
Are you not in the playtest?
No, I signed up for it just a minute ago. I just saw your game.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a thing that's.
So I'm curious, where did you hear about it?
Let me see. I actually know one of my Steam friends was playing it, and I was like, that's a cool name. I'll check that out. So it, and that's really good. So, I'm really excited about it, to be honest.
It's a thing that is hard to, in some ways, believe until you play. Like, when I try to explain to people, like, what you can do with a sim, I'm like, trust me, I understand it sounds ridiculous, but it does work.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that you can melt the rocks, move the rocks, water flows, I mean, even just those features alone, the stuff that I've seen is really incredible. But,
yeah.
I mean, that's the hardest thing we've had as a company to sell to investors, is that we can describe the whole system that we had for the longest time and told them what we're going to do with our simulation. And they're like, great, that sounds like a great computer demo for a simulation. Where's your game? And then trying to explain the game around it is a whole nother ball of wax to try to explain how these simulations are greatly affected by the gameplay, or your gameplay is affected by these simulations. And that's the reason that you see us in early access, or not early access, early alpha at this point. Because by no means will any of us in our team sit there and say our game is ready for launch, because it is not.
Yeah.
But what we're there for is basically show, we're trying to prove, basically, to the players that are questioning us and the investors that are questioning us, to go, no, there is gameplay, you can do this. There is a really cool system, that there is interest in it. So it's great to see that you saw, the name of it, you saw somebody else was playing it, and you went, hey, I should check this out. And that's what we're banking on right now, is a lot of word of mouth, which is where, I usually start these little playtests with little sessions of like, hey, we're not under an NDA. Feel free to stream. Feel free to take screenshots, take video, put it out on your social media, tell the world about it, because that's what we need right now.
Yeah, advertisement's going to be a thing, But no, I mean, just the fact that I saw my friend, play it. I do this a lot. I'm probably one of the outliers, to be honest. Is like I'll just Google a thing and then be like, oh, let me check this out, see what it's about. Just 'cause I'm always looking for new things to take up my time. And but this looks really good, but I just want to know if the community's going to be involved completely, and if my time invested in this game would be worth the time spent, right? So what I gotta see more interactions, I guess, with the NPCs eventually. That's what I'd like to see. For sure.
All I can suggest is stick around and watch. And
oh yeah, I'm definitely.
We go from here, because we're, as some of the testers can contest to, we get out updates every 2-3 weeks or so, usually having new systems in or changes to the current systems, and as much as possible, we're listening to the feedback of the players. Much like if you look into the company itself, a lot of us behind it have been in the industry for, some of us 20-30 years minimum. Developing various different games over the years, and a lot of us basically wanted to produce the games that we never got a chance to make, because we were stuck in various different companies that basically put us in directions of well, this is what the current trend is, you need to make this. And the whole idea behind this particular game is kind of, if you went back 20-30 years and there was kind of a change in the MMO industry, we'll call it WoW, changed a lot of things and how the MMO industry was, and we're kind of looking at that going, well, let's create a what-if scenario. What happens if we actually didn't diverge that direction and went a different direction and created that product instead, and see what happens? And that's where we're aiming at, trying to develop. And I think in a lot of ways we have, which is where Star Wars Galaxies was originally trying to aim for too. And Landmark and EQ Next were two of the other ones that, certainly had their goals in a certain direction they wanted to go. Some of them they met, some of them they did not. And we are going to meet those goals, because the technology has changed a lot over the years. And some of the aspirations that we had 20 years ago, that we said, this would be cool if we could do this, and didn't do it. There's not a chance in hell we can do this. We now can do it, is the cool thing. Computers have advanced far enough that they can handle things like our simulation now.
Yeah, that's another thing I was curious about, actually. What's the minimum tech spec that you're looking for, GPU wise, CPU wise?
Well, I expect everybody's using the 5000 series. No,
sure,
I'm kidding.
Sure. I mean, hey, look, I can see it.
It ranges in there. We want to, the ideal dream. I'd love to be able to have this game played on a Switch.
Oh crap! Yeah.
Is that going to happen?
Maybe the Switch too.
Yeah,
maybe. They got a new one.
Is it ARM or no? But yeah, it's gonna be good.
Is it capable of playing on a Steam Deck? Yes, people are doing it right now. We're not natively running off of a Linux system for them, but they're using what is it, Proton, and the other one is that they use to run it, and it does function and it works. It's not great. Your performance isn't amazing, but we're going to optimize that. We're in early alpha at this point, and even some of the machines that my machine isn't great. Well, my gaming machine is much better, because that's my machine. And it runs really well on that one, but does run really hot. I've got a fairly expensive, not the newest generation of video card and stuff in there, but it still runs pretty heavy on that one, and we need to fix that so that we can get it on lower specs. Yeah. Is it going to run on potato? No, it will not run on potato. Most games don't these days.
No Doom, huh? No kidding.
But we will try to make it accessible as possible, because more people that play potentially is more money for us. We like money.
Oh yeah, I mean that's the idea, right? It's, you guys make entertainment, and then you guys get money. That's
the theory. It's kind of a pretty cool.
And you do it with wizardry and math. I don't really understand it. No, I a little bit, but I can't imagine what you guys do all the time. So,
even being in the industry myself, I find it amazing that just being part of the entertainment industry and how expensive it is actually to make entertainment for people. Whether it be movies, video games, music, all these different things. It's really expensive to make these things. To actually make a profit on it is how does this industry actually survive? It just amazes me at times.
I mean, yeah. I worked for EA for a little bit as a game tester in Baton Rouge, and they put a lot of money in that facility, even though they got a good grant from the college. So, but yeah, I mean, it's really about an investment. How much money and time are you willing to put into it and make it what you want it and what other people want it and how popular it becomes. So I really like this game though. I think it will do well. I appreciate you guys' time for sure. And how often do you guys do these streams? Is this daily or?
Right now?
Yeah.
When I'm not on vacation, because I was on vacation last week, we've been running playtests pretty much 6 days a week, 8 hours a day. Ish.
No kidding. Yeah. And you guys just talk to people that find your game and stuff like that.
Absolutely. I try to attend every one if I can.
Wow, you guys are awesome.
I will
Raph
say,
comes in here, Dave jumps in here.
As someone who's been playing online games for nearly 30 years, this is one of the most communicative dev teams I've ever seen.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Oh my god.
Easily the most I've ever seen. Amazing.
Like I said, whenever I did game testing, I couldn't even get a word into the devs at the time. So it's a big corporate thing now.
Yeah, there was a session within the last week where Raph was in here, and then it turned into kind of like a fireside chat.
Yeah, man. Well, I mean, Honestly, I've been playing video games my entire life. If you guys ever want more of my ideas, just let me know.
Raph was pretty chatty back in Star Wars Galaxies.
Yeah, he's always been chatty. You get him talking, it's hard to get him to stop talking from time to time.
I think that's what Dave said. He was like, whenever someone would ask a certain question about something, he's like, I'm not sure if Raph said this or not yet, so I don't know if I can say.
Yes. I oftentimes have to watch any type of, if he does interviews or he does the firesides and stuff like that. If I don't have a chance to attend them, I need to make sure I watch them so I know what he has leaked and what he hasn't leaked.
Right.
Well, I mean, if you're being this open, what are you trying to hold back though? That's my concern. I mean, not concern, but my question. Yeah.
We're fairly open with a lot of the stuff, but there's certainly areas of design that we just haven't really talked about a whole lot. Things like, yes, we are going to have PvP, and we've talked a little bit about how the PvP system's going to work, but have we gone into details of it? No. Of specifics of how it's going to work. And our planetary government system is another one of the areas that we've described a lot of the systems that we want to try to accomplish with it, but have we gone into details of exactly what permissions you're going to have and exact things you're going to be able to do? No. There's things that we just haven't disclosed yet on what they're going to be. We'll talk broadly on things. You'll also find, the conversations that I have, I use a lot of the word may, might, possibility.
Yeah, everything, you're building it, man. You're building it. It's not a done product. So, I mean, this is, you could play this now, but, obviously you want to do more with this for sure.
Earlier, when you were talking about, not having somebody tell you the direction to go in and being able to complete the game you wanted to complete, it made me think about Spore.
Oh no.
That it seemed like Peter had some really good ideas with Spore, and then EA had other ideas.
That was Will Wright, not
Yeah,
Peter Molyneux.
They took it away, man. That game would have been cool.
So
It still looks kind of cool, but
I think Peter Molyneux might be one of the reasons people are a little cautious about things that promise great things, because we've just been burned before.
Are we sure it's not Chris Roberts?
Well,
That was certainly one of our hesitations to
Yeah,
going to
Chris
Kickstarter.
Roberts.
Is that Kickstarters, traditionally MMOs have burned Kickstarters a lot.
oh yeah.
So we were very hesitant to go into that particular avenue for it, because we'd much rather go with personal investments and investment firms and stuff in publishing deals rather than ask the players for it. But the condition of the current market of the industry is very strange right now. It's probably the worst it's been in 30 years. And it's not that the industry isn't making money, it's just unwilling to take chances right now. If it's not a sure bet, it's hard to get money.
yeah, because everybody knows what sells. It's called Call of Duty and Fortnite skins, and that's what makes the money in the industry right now.
Yeah, but even it's always so weird to me because even copying those things doesn't like guarantee you. It just like alleviates an investor's mind, even though they're investing in a high risk industry. So why don't you take a risk? You're already in it.
Yeah,
And then you get
But it's all
something
about reducing that risk as much as possible. If there's
They
a
have
known
it-
commodity or you have an
investors.
IP that you're going off of, those are a lot less risky than going off an IP that doesn't exist currently and is going an experimental route.
Yeah.
Especially if you brainwash the children to keep buying it every time.
I
because
guess you
they
do.
think it's new.
I guess what it is what maybe I'm not cottoning on to it is like if you're going to be like an investor, I would assume you'd be a general investor, but maybe there must be specific people that only invest in video games and I guess have like a core philosophy in how they invest, and that's just not gelling with what you guys are doing for some of them.
Yeah, you would. To not get into too much detail and stuff, you kind of run into three different types of investors. You have your general ones that'll defy a great deal and don't know a lot about each of those individual areas.
Right.
So they're more willing to take risk, but only small risks.
Right.
In those situations. You'll have your ones that are very specialized in more of they know a lot about video games and the industry itself, but they're going to want to go for what they think is the sure bet
Right.
at that point. Things that are like the IPs will make a difference. If we sat there and we pitched this game and we had the support of, granted I'll say LucasArts, but because Star Wars would be huge. But let's say we were making a Harry Potter game,
Yeah.
for example, and we were
Does George
throwing this
Lucas
whole
have an
simulation.
studio?
I don't think he does.
Gotta talk to Disney
I mean, he's
now.
still associated with LucasArts, but if we had an IP like that we were connected to, that would make it a much more known audience to start with.
Right.
Because the problem we also run into with ours in particular is we're a weird gray area. We're not a full sandbox game. We're not a full MMO. We're not a full combat game. We're a collection of a lot of different things all in one place.
Yeah.
So it makes it difficult.
Well, it seems like you are a full MMO. I don't know. I don't know what the qualification of full MMO is, but it seems like you're aiming for that.
When I say that, we're not your traditional MMO in the idea
Okay.
that it's like a TARB tag it there. Your traditional,
As defined by
Holy
WoW.
Trinity, yeah, like WoW kind of one,
Okay.
or Final Fantasy and stuff. We have very specific characters that
Yeah.
are defined in certain roles, and you're going to accomplish it a certain way.
Right.
We're a lot more broad in that particular aspect.
I gotcha.
So,
Blue sky
it's-
strategy.
it definitely made us canvassing for money and stuff like that a little bit more challenging.
And what was the third type of investor?
If you got your specialized, you've got your general, and then you've got your publishing side of ones, where their goal isn't they care about the game and they want to publish, they make sure the game, but they want the publishing rights. And a lot of those end up being more of your foreign companies and stuff, where they want to control the Chinese market or the Asian market, and publish it fully on their side. Which
like Nexon and all that.
Those kind of ones, yeah. Those
Gotcha.
cut into, and both of those have pluses and minuses behind them. The things that you get behind a publishing deal type of investment is that you're going to get the marketing side of their juggernaut that they have.
Yeah, and more money, I bet.
But you also lose control of certain things.
Right.
Things like your microtransactions and how you're going to handle subscriptions and things like that end up falling a lot more onto the publisher side of things, because that's where their bread and butter is. Where if you go with the game design type of ones, which is more of your game companies and stuff, or investors that have invested in separate different game companies, they oftentimes want to have control of the creative side of it. And that's where you sit in the run into places where, lack of a better example, but one that most people will know, dramatic changes to a game design from like FTE in Star Wars Galaxies.
Oh yeah.
So you end up with like a dramatic change of what the original design was because of impact of your investors and things like that that have been involved with. So us, while we're shopping around and trying to find investment and stuff, we've considered all of these different aspects of it. There's been situations where we've walked away from investment opportunities because we didn't want to give that kind of control away. Like one of the things we've looked at is Bitcoin is one of those things that's also one of those weird things in our market these days. And a lot of companies want to invest in a quick Bitcoin kind of solution involving games. And we did not want to get in bed with that idea.
Blockchain.
Really?
Yeah.
You didn't.
Yeah.
Might as well buy someone with a credit card right now.
That we've looked at and went, oh yeah, we're just not interested in that situation. Because we want to have control of our own destinies, and we want to have an experience for the players that we believe is going to be good for them.
Hey, those Bitcoin companies say the same thing.
Bro, if you ever see one of those guys on LinkedIn and they got like Bitcoin, blockchain, Forex, and all these other buzzwords on their profile, don't even waste your time with them, man. They're just gonna
on LinkedIn.
No.
Yeah, on LinkedIn. Like I'll get these guys hitting me up, and then they start chatting with you, and they say, "Hey, do you know about blockchain?" And they, "No, I hide my money under my mattress." Block, 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 block.
But you too can be a bored ape.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'm all for decentralized, currency, but I like the things I like,
I have a house in San Jose, California that my wife and I have been slowly paying off for 30 years, and it's been a great investment.
Must have been nice to get in there, man.
At this point, I don't know if I'll ever own a house, so.
Yeah, right?
We
Market
just paid
sucks.
off last month.
It's like by choice. For me, really. But
They just need to move all these Silicon Valley jobs and spread them out some more. They shouldn't have them all concentrated here. That's why the prices are sky high here.
yeah, it's part of sentiment and the cause, right? It's like more money comes into that area, and then there's more money to invest in higher end properties. So those properties go in there, and then more people want to come, and it kind of blows up into a bubble eventually. But that's usually what happens. What is sorry for being my name. Build this, or is this just in the first there? Okay, probably.
Watching somebody?
Oh yeah, sorry. Looks like I'm watching the same one I was watching. Agent Renee. Sorry.
Agent Snake is one of our platforms. We created several of those. Each planet has one in it that basically allows you to have a basic crafting stations at it. It has a bunch that goes to space, and then when you're in space, you can travel to different planets. But that's something we created. Whereas if you look at my stream, I'm streaming.
Sorry, calm down. Oh yeah.
So you can see there, you can see Chase is building right now, and they're using the core building. We've got two different types of building we have in the game, kind of three. But basically, the first one is decor building, which is the objects that you see down below. They can place just walls, ceiling, ramps, doors, things like that. And those are objects placed. An additional way that you can do it is through the instant, which places blocks like Minecraft builds. Pick and choose. Pluses and minuses of them. They don't interact with the sim right now. Only the Instaformer blocks do. So if you were to drop gravel on your floor and use object building, it'll just fall. That's what they're looking at.
Yeah, something solid, right? Rather than liquid disk.
Yeah, you can see Dazzle is currently using the Instaformer right now.
Yeah.
And you can see that they're placing, actually they're removing blocks right now, which is the red outline they have.
Sure.
And then you can see Andrel. They were doing combat a moment ago.
Yeah, they were shooting. Looks like a beam weapon. Yeah.
It looks like Toker is going through and picking skills from different skills that are EXP they've gathered. We do work off of a EXP based off of what you do system. So if you want to gain mineralogy, dig. If you want to gain combat experience, you need to go kill creatures.
If you want to jump a million times, you can get your agility up.
Potentially, yes.
Yeah.
Mostly because we want people to progress in whatever skills they choose to do it, because they enjoy a particular action or those types of things that they gain. Like just placing building increase their civil engineering right now. And what you're seeing on like Dandrel's swinging forward the skills you see, this is just one drop of what we're actually trying to have for our skill system.
Oh, yeah, it looks like
it's going to be, if you look through some of the posts on stuff, Discord and stuff, Rapid put out a couple different screenshots of overview of what it looks like. The best I can describe it to you, if you're familiar with Path of Exile, looking at their skill tree.
Oh, yeah, their tree, yeah.
Ours looks similar to that from our design documents. That's not necessarily how it's going to look when you actually see it in game. It'll probably be more of a tree format that you see here.
Yeah.
But the complexity of it and how you can actually connect things together and move them around in various different ways is it's similar to that aspect.
Would there be a way to view the entire thing at a time? Like whenever, like say you get to a specific point, instead of like just viewing a chunk of it, you could view the whole thing?
Maybe. It depends on what we do with the UI for it.
Gotcha.
But like any of these trees that you look at, like he's looking at the terraformer right now, terraforming. You can see the base ones that were there, that were initial trees, and underneath those there's significant props underneath them. Those will also get expanded out further into things like when you're doing terraforming. Right now you can increase the yield on it. You can increase your hopper size, but we're also going to let you increase things like the size of it, increase the size, increase the yield, decrease the amount of use of battery for it. Various different ways that you can customize that particular tool. And if you wanted to, yes, you could invest all your points into just that one skill and make mineralogy your specialty, and you'd be really good at it. But you're then not going to be able to spend everything else and everywhere else. So you're going to have to diversify and choose what you want to do at that time. But we're also going to limit you in the idea that once you've picked a path, you're stuck in that path. You're going to be able to learn every skill in the game if you spend enough time doing it. But you just can't have it active at all the time. So the idea behind it is that you acquire, like to put it in a really easy to understand system, you can acquire every deck of cards that we have, but you may only have one deck of card active at a time, and then your actual tool belt is your hand that you've actually determined that you're going and leaving your camp and going out and doing. So the tools you have equipped is your hand that you have in your 5 cards or how many cards you have available to instantly use. But at any point you can go back to a camp and you can switch out those tools to pick from the ones that you have learned from your skills and you have the ability to use that have been customized. Or if you want to, you can forget some of those ones from your current deck and pull other ones into it, but there will be a time delay in doing that process.
Gotcha. So you're basically taking like a skill tree and you're breaking it up into different skills and using those skills individually for specific interactions, like say again fire and ice or whatnot, and then you're on a cooldown to swap that. Is that what you're saying? Yeah.
Think of it as respecking. If you want to respec your skill tree,
Sure.
you'll be able to do that. But once you've forgotten something and you learn it, there's going to be a time period in relearning it. You won't have to go out and do the actions to necessarily gain the experience to do it again.
I'm just trying to build everything.
But you will have a delay of a timeout of some time before I can switch between that one.
Yeah. Also, if you want to see one of the like the skill trees, they posted like a tentative one in one of the articles. It's also linked in a forum post in the Discord section about specialization. It's linked in there. So if you want to see what one of them looks like, they're like work in progress kind of ranger tree. It has like about 100 skills on it.
Forum post.
Yeah, it's one about specialization. At the bottom of the first post, there's a picture of it.
Specialization discussion.
Yeah, that's the one. If you save it and then open it, you can expand it a little bit to read some of it.
Gotcha.
Like right now, Ranger is like a dozen skills, but it will be like, yeah, more than that.
Starting from bottom, yeah, okay, I see heroes. Alright, Ranger. Nice, yeah, okay. I follow. Some sub trees to follow in.
There's also like in that skill tree, the Pathfinder and the Trailblazer have their own like little branches, whereas in the current one, they're both on the same screen.
Yeah, a lot of that's because of the fact that we didn't break down how you're going to gain experience for those particular ones yet, because the tools we have don't associate those correctly. So right now, like, we threw a lot under Ranger because there's a simple way to get Ranger experience that allows you to experience. Later, you're going to have to basically choose to do Ranger first, and then as you get a new tool, that's going to give you experience in that particular tool type, so you can customize that tool further.
Right.
Gotcha.
Is there any rough idea of like how many kinds of things you can, or professions we could like master for?
Well, I'm still going to go with you can learn them all, you can master them all, you just can't have them active at all times.
I guess I mean in practice.
Uncertain at this point.
Fair.
Because that's going to depend upon how the gameplay plays out at that point and what we feel is balanced.
Most games are like usually 3.5, somewhere in here.
Oh, there's a lot of more modern games that are just everything. So that's why I asked
if the skill tree was going to be like UO and you're going to have a set amount of points, but I understand what you're going for with the tool belt. I kind of like that, you know, because then I don't have to sit there beating on wombats to get my strength up, right? So, you know, that's pretty cool, man. Just change to a xylo slicer, and now I'm planting trees.
Yeah, the restrictions you're going to definitely have in place there, and we see a little bit right now, but we may make less or more, is things like you have to be in a camp in order to change out your skills.
Right.
This isn't so bad right now because our world is only 1K by 1K right now, which is still not, tiny by any means, but you can travel across this whole zone pretty quickly, especially if you have the grappling hook and the grab mesh unlocked and available to you, which we're giving everybody right now to start with. That makes moving through the world pretty easy. Once we go to our next increase of world size, which is going to be 4K by 4K, basically making the world 16 times the size of what it is, it's going to feel a lot more vast, and you're going to be a lot more reliant on camps then, because you're not going to have a homestead that you can go and change your stuff out of every 30 feet away from you.
Hey, so how are camps gonna work? Like, how am I gonna get more camps?
You craft them.
Okay.
Right now you can do that.
One thing I had mentioned that Larry could kind of, earlier was I was hoping that there'd be a way to like find nearby camps or something that would like indicate, hey, there's a camp in that direction. Is that kind of something that might happen?
Well, I mean, kind of the thought is that going with the idea that you leave home with camps that you survive. If you're not the person bringing camps, hopefully somebody that is bringing camps with you. So you don't need to go find a camp, because you can just place one on the fly, because they already think what you do. So you shouldn't have a big need to go search out for a camp. But there will be locations on the planets. The starting ones will definitely have links to your base, and there's a big beacon that flies and shoots up the air, telling you where that is. So it's fairly easy to find. And when we go to the larger maps, there might be multiple locations like that are revive points that you potentially can go to and achieve other stuff.
I just thought
On camping, yes.
I just thought it might help with like Ranger XP of like, oh, if I put a camp down, maybe some people will be able to find it and they'll just use that one instead.
Currently, I mean, they glow in the dark pretty well, so it's pretty easy to see them. And right now, if you put down a camp and people come in and do crafting in your camp, or just travel through your camp, you gain experience for it. You're also going to gain experience for things like if I craft a gun, I'm going to gain experience.
Does the user also get experience in that case?
They get their combat experience. I'm going to get experience for like my crafting, because I crafted a weapon. You're using it for me. You're going to help raise up my crafting skill.
Attached to your name. Cool.
Well, then that's kind of interesting, because what if you make, I don't know, 1,000 guns and you sell all of them and people are using them? You're just going to be just rolling in experience, or?
Yep.
Yeah,
that is certainly
nice.
a possibility.
Yeah.
But you also need to make sure that those 1,000 guns you make are things people actually want to use.
Right.
So you're using up resources, and if you're just using crappy resources to make these, nobody's going to want to use those weapons. They're going to want to use the ones that are actually customized and person spent the time to find the right resources and make it a more powerful weapon.
Yeah. Is the hope then that people will kind of spend more time with each weapon, because you're not just like, oh, I leveled up, I throw this away and get a new weapon?
There's a few different concepts we have in place there. One is the initial crafting of the weapon itself. Determines the abilities of that weapon and the skills that are associated with it and the damage it does. Also, there is, and whether we end up finally doing this in the end, but the idea behind it is that you build components for weapons, and you have the ability to exchange out those components. So it may be that there's a sniper type barrel that you don't currently have the skill to use, but you really like the weapon you have, and you get the skill later. You could exchange out that barrel on your weapon, changing the properties of that particular weapon, making it more usable for what you're aiming for. So you will customize your personal weapon that you have. There's also situations that you're going to want to be having multiple weapons potentially available to you. So you're not just going to have this one god item as the one to use, because there's going to be situations that my god item I have is very fire orientated, and this creature I'm going against are completely immune to fire, which makes my god item no longer useful to me.
Right.
So
That's
you're going to
good.
want to
Or
have a
god
selection
items.
of different types of items. Yep, and then that's a choice that you make, because now you have, right now, you have 4 hot slots to use. If you're going to choose 4 different weapons, what are you putting in there? Just those 4 weapons, then you have no utility, so you don't have a terraformer, you don't have the ability to cut down trees and stuff, because you've chosen to put 4 weapons in your inventory. You need to make those choices and make those tough decisions that when you leave a camp, I know what I want to go do, because I'm setting myself up for the challenge that I'm going for.
I got a dumb suggestion. Should be like an entertainer class.
Huh. We never thought of that one.
It specializes in emotes.
Well, emotes, or maybe they sing and people could throw them a coin. You know, maybe it could be like an in-game karaoke. I don't know.
Oh yeah, like something like Sea of Thieves, get everybody to kind of sing along automatically, maybe, or maybe.
Or like how Star Wars Galaxies had an entertainer class.
Right.
Perhaps a class that if you go and go to them, they may actually help you in certain ways by like recovering or providing buffs to you, giving you advantages in your future combat situations.
Yeah,
So,
Bard.
For someone who is not playing at the moment,
Bard.
the only way to get rid of wounds is for someone to dance for you at the moment. So it is a thing already, kind of ish.
Yes, it already
It's
exists.
it's not a profession yet, but it's there. The idea.
Ideally, the goal that we would actually like to have with that is that different types of entertainment, whether it be dancing, singing, or playing an instrument of some sort, intertwine together, so that not only can an entertainer be there, you could have a group of entertainers that provide a different type of buff or a different type of advantage for you by putting their combinations together.
Ooh, each one could play their own instrument.
Oh, Rod, did you just give away? Are we going to have a buff system with entertainment?
Oh, we'll definitely have a buff system at some point.
Oh, if we want the best buff, we have to go to a battle of the bands.
Yeah, they could do buffs pretty easy.
So, okay, here I'll do my little leak for the day, and whether it's a leak, this is just a conversation that came up.
Okay.
Kurt, if for those that are not familiar with our sound engineer, Kurt, sometime look him up. He was involved with an 80s band at one point, and it still is actually. He was on an 80s cruise, playing at the 80s cruise this last week, because he's fairly well known. But he likes to bring in discussions of music and sounds and things like that, because his career he's been in for the last 45 some years. His discussion he was talking about is homesteads are interesting little areas. It's interesting to have an ability to customize your particular sound for when you're in your homestead.
Yeah.
So that if a player was to come in there and use, like, say, the dance emote, the music that comes out of the dance emote is specified based off of what your homestead is and what you're predetermined for it to be. So potentially you could go to one homestead and you have a jazz kind of sound playing while you're in it, and then you go to another one and you have a punk sound coming through it.
Just as long as you don't allow people to do MP3s coming through.
Oh, no. God, no.
We certainly could not do that.
Can I say for sure an Instaformer sound? I want that.
You should let me do that.
Let you play MP3s? No.
Yes, just one in particular.
A lot of people are going to go, what's the most annoying sound I can pick?
Oh, yeah, exactly. Or
So
make it
already
like a
in the
horror,
game,
horror game or
clone,
something.
The OpenAI guides did called biomes.gg, and you could craft a television in this Minecraft clone, and then you could feed a YouTube URL, and then your little plot of land would have your television playing this YouTube video on loop, and it's pretty cool. I mean, but then again, it was also rife with abuse too. People playing some really weird stuff.
Yeah. If there's
and
anything about the internet, it's gonna be terrible.
Darn it, I did it again, didn't I? How do I get rid of this again?
Yeah, maybe have like a little music composer in there, like Mario Paint.
We're not against the idea of basically what games have done that? Vanguard would be a good one. If you're familiar with Vanguard's Saga of Heroes, what they did with their Bard system that they had, was it called Bard or was it Musician? I can't remember anymore. Is basically they allowed you to basically create your own song through different sets of parts of songs, basically, and you could create it yourself.
Oh,
and then that would what we play. We're not against doing things like that, of basically having different types of instruments have the ability to have different types of rhythms or music sets that you basically play, and then if you choose different players that actually play together, you could create a song and create your own band. That's the dreams that we'd like to do. One of the things that you're definitely going to find, in listening to, Dave, myself, or Raph, a lot of us are very keen to the idea of social interaction. We really want to push social interaction and have players playing together. The idea of playing an MMO solo, yes, some players like to do it, but go play a single player game for the most part if you want to do that kind of interaction. If you want to play an MMO, be social, be out there and participate in what's out there as much as we can. We're not going to force you to do it, but we're going to give a lot of avenues to do so, which is why things like entertainer is going to be a skill, and it is going to be something that is beneficial for players. And we want to make it more beneficial if more people get involved.
Man, you gotta get the.
Gonna have superstar concerts and.
Yeah, you know
space,
that sax guy meme. You gotta get his animation playing the sax. That'd be awesome.
Sax Squad.
I don't know if it's sax squad.
Sax Squatch, nice. Next, you're gonna be asking for an otter playing a flute or something.
Galactic pop
like
idols.
Buff German guy playing the sax with his shirt off.
Oh, from the Lost Boys?
That's it. That was it.
I mean, he's actually buddies with a friend of mine I went to high school with, and he goes and does all of his shows.
I accomplished my goal. I got water to the lava, and I didn't die.
And you didn't die.
Congratulations.
It doesn't really do anything. It means I can stay in the lava and not die immediately.
What you're not seeing is that it is actually doing a few other things. Is that water is actually turning into steam. You're just not seeing the steam currently, and that steam is then flying up into the air, it's dissipating, and potentially putting water down in other areas.
Nice.
You need more water.
It's coming out from the top as fast as it can.
Some of the things that because we made changes over the time that we've been developing and stuff, some of the earlier testers would remember the days when we had geysers, where if you went to our Gaiamar, and it has basically the core of the planet is designed to be hotter than everywhere else. So if you were to drain a lake straight down to the bottom, it would instantly turn into steam, and it would basically not exactly explode, but basically explode, creating this geyser that would shoot up all the way to the top of the world. And some parts of it you can still force it to happen, just not as well as it used to be now. But it would also, when it gets up high enough, it gets cold. So then you would then have the water start to freeze, and then you'd have large chunks of ice come falling down on the ground on you.
I'm pretty sure it still happens. You just don't see it.
It's not as the same way because you're losing a lot of it now.
Yeah, I don't know that it goes as high, but it still happens.
Is
Yeah,
that
you're just not seeing most of it.
Well, now it's a group activity because we did it. We did it before, where on the ocean floor.
Yeah, one person could do it before just by digging down in those spots, but
Mm-hmm.
it requires a bit of effort now. But it's kind of neat to see how.
It is.
That's the funnest thing that I have with it is like when I joined the company, 4 years ago. I got the same spiel that Raph gives even any of our new hires and stuff like that. He goes through a 2-3 hour documentation dump and presentation to us, basically explaining the game and all the concepts and what we want to actually do with it. And I came out of that meeting, I came out of it from an interview session, basically, of going, I don't believe you. You can't do this. This is not possible. We've now proven that, we can do a lot of those things. And you fooled me. I didn't think you could do it when we first start describing it, talking about it. But Raph's also very good at selling his dreams and his visions of what he can do and what he can accomplish with it. So I'm glad he did, and I was able to join the company. But we've gone a long ways from like some of the original simulation demos that we had to now, where it's like we've made drastic changes to our simulation over the last 2.5-3 years, to the point that we've rewritten the thing 5 different times now. Not exactly from scratch, but basically from scratch, and changing what language it's written in several different times, every time getting better. And our newest ones that we're still working on right now is moving it off of our into optimizations, and that is going to be probably 50 to 100% increase in our performance of our simulation.
Nice.
Moving it to that, and it's just one of the things. We just need to do it, and it'll be a nice improvement.
You know, Microsoft just released that quantum chip. You should run it on that.
They have not released that quantum chip yet, but
the thing that actual hard scientists are roundly disproving.
Right.
Question about the geysers. Is there atmospheric interaction? Like, if you are in a geyser, is it gonna like send your body up type deal, or even for the NPCs?
currently, no. Later, we hope so. Things like right now, if you stand in a stream that is coming from a higher location to a lower location and it's flowing down, it currently doesn't have a current to it that pushes your character. Can we do that? We certainly can. It's just not something we've done at this point. And we just need to figure out exactly how we want to do it. Because again, we always run into the situation of like, if we're designing a single player game, a lot of these discussions on these kind of things are simple. These are simple solutions.
Yeah.
And they've been done hundreds and hundreds of times. Doing it in an MMO market is a bit more of a challenge because we got to think things through a lot more than we did previously for a single player game. Because every action that you do impacts the whole world, not just you.
Yeah, and from 100 different perspectives potentially. So.
I think I just got booted out of the game.
Hey Rod, is Ascarian up? I think it did a corruption crash like last time.
No,
let me see.
Like yesterday it did. But
yeah, because my character's hung up now. I can't get back in even if I wait.
That was what it did yesterday.
Yeah, that's. I think it's a corruption crash.
That's rough. Well, at least it's only like not that long left.
Oh no, I didn't even have any skills.
Doesn't look like the server has restarted, so it's in a hung state, if anything.
Yes.
Look at the actual server.
So that would be the second day in a row Ascarian has done that.
Yeah, it loves it.
Ascarian specifically, no other planet.
It pretty much does that anyway.
Ascarian's iffy.
Ascarian mean.
Yeah, Ascarian we're still trying to investigate, because for some reason it runs like twice as hot as the rest of the servers, and there's no reason it should.
Right.
And we don't know why. Why is this? Oh, because...
What is Ascarian's special sauce?
Ocean. You don't want to know.
Definitely looks like Ascarian had an issue coming, gosh, 7 o'clock. What is going on? It's got plenty of free memory. The CPU usage just gradually went down over. Oh,
I found.
Let's look at the right server though. Let me try this
square
again.
of lava.
It's pretty interesting. How'd you get rid of the entire square like that?
It's the fire.
Oh yeah, I guess you could.
Let's see if I'm corrupted here. Logging in.
Yeah, it definitely spiked down.
Nope, I did not get corrupted.
The CPU is going back up.
An interesting experiment.
I'm still a monkey.
I'm presuming you can't put homesteads on top of each other, right?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Yes.
I tried it earlier, it wouldn't work.
It's a challenge.
You need to make sure you raise it high enough.
I raised it. It was like 45-degree angle, like down, like.
It's very fitting.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fence will look like it's a little wacky looking when you're first placing the camp.
Mhm.
But you need to get the camp high enough because it's a 21 by 21 square, and the center point is where it places the re-life station.
Mhm.
And that's the place where the homesteader will be when you actually stack it. So you'll need to go 10 meters above your current homestead boundary and place it there.
I see.
Yeah, it seems okay. I mean, definitely had a spike down. Like the CPU just like died for a while, but everything else seems normal on it. And it looks like players are logging in now.
Yeah, I'm back in.
Are you
next?
Corrupted?
Nope, I'm still the ape. I didn't go Terran female.
Mind if I ask what you guys are running this on?
Hopes and dreams.
Hopes and dreams.
Not AWS.
Yeah, we're running off of AWS Cloud Server.
Oh, okay.
Hopes and dreams.
Hopes and dreams.
Hopes and Bezos.
And a pile of
And
money
dollars.
set on fire.
Many dollars. Yeah.
Oh yeah, many dollars.
Not bad.
Good for quick scaling, bad for pricing.
Yes, that is very true.
It's good for pricing if you get your scaling just right.
Yeah.
I mean,
But
certainly one of
who
the
gets their
aspects that
scaling just right?
Especially not in the dev stage.
that's one of the aspects we run into right now is that we don't know what our specs need to be for our server, and we're still determining that. Because if we knew what we needed to be, we can actually book in, a year contract, a 5-year contract, whatever contract we want to make it much more reasonable price. But when you're going month to month, it certainly cuts into the funds a bit.
Yeah, if you're a government agency and you have unlimited money, other people's money, then AWS is a pretty fun solution.
They do a lot. It's amazing what they can actually accomplish from it. You do run into a noisy neighbor problem with the server. But for the most part, they're pretty consistent. They'll provide what you're looking for, and they're very scalable. But you pay for that. You definitely do.
Make cool and go on modern and go headspin.
I mean, it would certainly be a lot cheaper for us right now to just buy a bunch of PCs and run a server out of my house for every month. But I don't know if that's a great solution.
No, you don't do that. You need to find an apartment that includes electricity, and then you put it there.
Oh, that would change their policy right there.
They get that bill and shut that down real quick. Indeed.
Actually, I know some cheap apartments in Salinas that do have AT&T fiber to them. I think that's Salinas.
Yeah.
Okay. Even a couple 10 gigs, maybe even more.
For the volume they're doing, a single 10 gig is probably enough, honestly.
The apartment complex are probably still running a 1 gig contract.
Yeah, split amongst 30 units.
I know some of the folks who run places like that. It would not surprise me in the least.
Yeah.
You genuinely have a fun game coming here. I'm looking forward to it.
As it turns out, so am I.
Right now, I'm just having fun destroying this hill.
Well, it's one of the things I do find amazing is that you can sit there and just start playing with the extractor and find out 2 hours later you've just been digging a hole.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, that
Look
ends
up
up being
into the sun.
my experience is like no matter what I end up like setting out to do, I kind of just at a certain point start aimlessly digging things out with the terraforming tool.
You guys are all crazy.
It's pure ADD euphoria.
Just like, you know, Zen.
Crazy is one thing, but that has nothing to do with this.
Yeah.
I say that, but mostly I just end up digging.
Why are you
We all
building
end
there,
up
Nezel?
digging out,
Children crave for the mines.
Right now I'm just trying to figure out how to add lights and make it look better. As for what it is, it's just an object with a floating uranium.
Abstract art.
Very addictive. Maybe it could be
I
like
kind
a
of counted the uranium.
vision core.
That's why I got into the clay, though.
Because technically, the Hopper filling all the time. I'm just moving the hill from one place to another.
Yeah, but you're putting part of that hill in your pocket too.
Very big pocket.
Right next to that uranium.
Just as a reminder to everybody, we are about 20 minutes from the time we're going to close down the servers for tonight. We will be wiping the servers after tonight, going into tomorrow's test. So if you were building any interesting things or you have a cool picture you want to take, do that in the next 20 minutes. I don't think I'm going to do the normal run through all the worlds tonight. I've got some other work I need to get done. I'll certainly do another one of those on Saturday, very latest after we sit open for a few hours or a few days.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to cut down my hours a little bit.
That's good.
How dare you?
I know.
A very gamer of you.
Well, I got games I want to play. You know.
Yeah, of course.
CB2 is pretty fun.
And my buddies started up a new server of Conan, so I always like jumping on their server with them because I'm a hardcore gamer. And they're casual. They think they're hardcore, but I tend to blow them away.
Most casuals do.
Yeah, they're excited that they're like level 30 or something like that. So I started last night, and I'm like 24. So I will out level them, and I will get max level before the end of the weekend.
Everybody thinks they're hardcore till they meet a hardcore gamer.
Yes.
I have no such delusions. I know I'm a casual gamer. Through and through.
How you guys I like to think I'm a casual player these days because, you know, there must be better things I can do than play video games all the time, but I'm not.
And yeah,
I rotate.
On the weekends.
Well, but you also work in the industry, so this is all...
Yeah, you have to play games if you're in the industry,
Yeah.
I think, you know.
Research.
You'd be surprised how many people in the industry don't play video games.
I started playing around...
I mean, there's different
Artist
philosophies
too.
on that.
Yeah. I started playing around with Godot, and it's like, okay, what am I going to build? I don't play games, so I have no clue what I would build or what it would look like. Like, okay, well, I guess that'll wait.
Start building a code system using, I don't know, falling water.
It's like this one guy we got at work, you know, we're all in IT at work, a huge IT department, but there's one guy that doesn't even have a computer at home. Just has his work laptop, that's it.
Oh my. Where can we post like a random project or video stuff?
Like something you're doing in game or something external from the game?
No, external from game.
I think there's a self-promotion section.
There is. Yeah.
Your content, maybe. Is that what that would be? Is your content? Sorry, I didn't mean to break up your conversation.
All the way to the bottom.
Booting up the game here.
Way down here at the bottom, it is the Galactic Cantina at the bottom of the.
Yeah, okay, good, yeah. Creative Corner.
And self-promotions on the bottom.
Oh, there it is.
Do you guys mind if I posted something in there about my gaming convention coming up?
Yeah, go for it. That's what self-promotion's for. It's for our community to be able to do that.
Yeah, I just
It's
finished
annoying.
some big projects today, so I wanted to share.
It's annoying when like randos come in and do it, but as long as you're part of the community, feel welcome.
Oh, awesome.
Well, it's so awesome, it shouldn't matter if I'm part of the community or not, because it's amazing. But yes, I agree.
Is it now?
I'll be the judge of this.
Oh, prepare yourself, sir.
Oh no, it's a malware packet.
That's right.
I spent. It took
don't
me
even
4
worry.
times longer than I wish it did. However,
Incoming porn movie.
Yeah.
Welcome to the community, my friend.
Hey, I was going to ask, is anyone going to the comic book conventions or anything like that from this group?
I run a tabletop gaming convention in Texas.
I used to do tabletop a lot when I was younger, but not so much anymore.
Was your question for players attending them, or are you asking if the company is?
Oh, more like the company, but certainly anyone that wants to answer. I was thinking about, there's one in Indianapolis coming up this weekend. I was thinking about it, but
Is that Gen Con? No, that's in September, isn't it?
no, it's a comic book convention.
To answer your question on that from the company standpoint is conventions aren't as much of a marketing thing as they used to be within the game industry, with the kind of going away from like E3 and other very big public ones. Just the industry has kind of moved away from it a lot more. We've moved more into social media and like streaming and YouTube videos and things like that provide a lot more better bang for our buck. With that said, we do still try to attend certain ones, like this next week, San Francisco has GDC, for example, the Game Developers Conference. Raph will be there, as with a couple of other representatives will be there. Conventions like that, you'll see us at.
Man, let me take you guys out for pizza.
I won't be there. But
oh, okay.
I know Raph will be.
Finest quality.
But he has a very, very tight schedule right now because those particular industry conventions are the ones that we're meeting with a lot of different potential investors, publishers, and other parties. I know he's got like a dinner planned with like Unity representatives, for example, since we build off of Unity and things like that. So, I would say there's not a very good chance you're going to take him out to lunch. But if you happen to be attending GDC, he will be there. And he's more than happy to, shake a person's hand and have a conversation with a person at any point, because he is a fairly social and friendly person.
That would be fun sometime.
You can get him talking about almost any topic, and he will go on for hours.
Maybe I should bring my Atari 800 and have him sign it with a Sharpie.
That's where you need to bring like an old collector's edition of UO or one of the old maps. But yes, we do attend some, so it kind of depends upon what they are and what they're going to be benefits for us. Some of us also attend them just on our own too.
Oh,
I guess all the stuff you mine right now not come as the base material? Does it? Because I'm like I get lead, but so I can't craft lead because I get lead straight from the.
Correct. What you're seeing for crafting lead is the refining system.
Yeah.
Because you can combine various different resources to make lead.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm seeing that, but it's like laterite soil. I have not seen that yet. I'm assuming I need a few more levels of fucking around first.
It's mostly you just need to find it.
Laterite soil. You can find that on some of the planets. The hard one to find is alluvial and loam. I can't find those.
What should I do when I'm in the starting fucking crater? What would be my good thing to do for 2 hours?
You can go different places if you want. You're not
Kind of
stuck
depends
in
on what you want to do.
Dig a hole.
That's what we
Also
all.
keep in mind each time you're going to start on a random planet.
Go to different places.
5 different planets to choose from.
I mean, do I have to get there first, or do I just fucking go?
Yeah.
You
When
just
you
go
first
to
start
the
your
portal
character,
space.
it starts you on one random one. After that, there's a portal right behind you where you can start. If you travel to that, it'll take you to space, and then from space you can get to any one of the other planets.
I mean, I'm literally like, oh, you can just get to space?
Yeah. Yep. You just go through the portal.
Fuckity fuck. What am I doing on this little planet? I can be
they're all about the same size.
So you can even do is there asteroids yet?
There are asteroids out there,
I'm gonna go to an asteroid right now, man. Let's see.
But you're still like, it's just you in your little tight shorts floating through space, though, yeah?
You get a little bit more of a spacesuit than the tight shorts, but yes, you're flying around yourself. You will find that gravity acts a little differently.
I mean, it's a little bit more flattering than Starfield, but not much.
Whee! I'm flying.
Hello time's pretty quick.
By the way, everybody, just a reminder about the survey. We have a special question on there tonight, so if you'd fill it out, we would love that. Thanks.
I don't know if I have enough input. I've played the game for about 20 minutes so far.
Is it a different special question from yesterday?
We're boxers, not freaks.
It's the same, but you can give a new and exciting answer.
Yeah.
If you'd like.
I did the survey earlier. I didn't see any special question.
Well, the last week or so, I've been playing nothing but Rangers, so.
I just started, but I can't go any further down. Oh, I can. It's just this thing's weird. Can you change the size of your digging implement tool?
Not yet.
I can.
You cheat.
But you can't. Haha.
I can, but only for about like 5 or 6 days straight, and then like the pills stop working.
You should seek a doctor if you go for more than 4 hours.
Oh no, I'm just saying. For 6 days straight, they stop working for a day or two.
Rodney, my fountain works, kind of.
Lies.
Where is it? Where's the phone?
Pyro.
Okay.
Salt Flats.
Salt Flats.
Did you film that, Jess? I thought you weren't going to make it back on here, Jess.
I ended up making it for the last half hour or so.
So, I mean, so what should I be trying to make or even do with my time in the starting area?
There is no starting area. First off.
Well, where I'm starting,
it's pretty much do whatever the hell you want. Just do what you want.
Yeah.
So the thing is, right now, you have a starter kit, basically. We give you a lot of things that you normally wouldn't start with. So
Gotcha.
The answer to your question that you're asking right now would be very different if the situation was different. The thing I would suggest would be going out, finding some resources, figuring out how to make some of your other weapons, figure out how to some of the other tools.
I would like to learn how to survey for shit.
Okay.
Is that doable right now?
It is. It's a little confusing. You are going to need to acquire a little bit of skill in order to do that in the first place.
I figured as much.
Yeah. So you'll need to do some mining so that you can get some experience in that. And then you're going to get a mineralogy. And under mineralogy, you're going to look for the prospecting skill.
He said surveying, not prospecting.
Oh, he did.
Same sort of thing,
Well,
they're not, though.
They're not. He's right.
I just fucking murdered
Terminology's wrong.
myself with gravel. That's just great.
So so I guess we're gonna start playtesting as like new players and have stuff saved.
Great.
I need more water.
So
Talking hard.
So this is a problem when you're digging small holes.
Did your feet clip? Yeah, your feet clip and dying.
Is that an accident, or does that just happen when you throw gravel on top of yourself in this game?
You can bury yourself, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah. It was a quick death.
Gravel is soft.
It's alright, you've been initiated, you're good.
But if you equip the Pathfinder, it'll give you beeps for how close you are to like a surveying point, and if you get enough of them, stuff happens. It's how you get experience.
Yeah, I've gotten some, yeah.
What if you're deaf?
That's primarily one of the only things the Pathfinder can do. You also have the Trailblazer for the Ranger, which lets you put up flares or use a flamethrower or like a freeze beam.
Yeah.
And you put down camps. You can make them longer, or you could do more homesteads in the Ranger tree at the moment.
I do kind of put in my Pathfinder complaint just now. It needs to be a little bit longer.
I mean, I think also it'll be nice when there's a visual cue too. So.
Yep. Because what if you're deaf?
You die, you lose all your shit, but your thing is still 60% full of gravel.
Yes. You get to keep your gravel.
The gravel is magical.
That's the only thing I actually want to lose on death.
Yeah, as a waste
I'm sure that
resource.
changes.
Throw that shit in the hole.
Oh wow, this place is pretty.
Let's see, how's this working here? Okay. Oh.
What I just today, I was asking about self-promotion. I today finished a supercharger install on my car. So,
Nice.
a lot of effort. I mean, for me, it's a lot of effort.
Do you work on cars often, or?
I mean, I did before I was disabled. Now I don't do as much anymore, but I have all the knowledge. I just have very little strength. So.
Gotcha. Yeah, I feel ya. I don't have the strength I used to as a kid either.
Yeah, I mean, I have about
bad, but
a quarter as much strength as I should.
No kidding, man.
So, but I managed it. It took me 8 days, but it started right up first try, and it's fast as fuck.
Nice.
So.
Trying to drag race it or something?
No, it was just, once in my life have a 500 horsepower car. It was on the bucket list.
Sweet.
I've been working on a lot of bucket list items recently.
Oh, when you said supercharger, I thought you were talking about Tesla. But
No.
I'm happy you're not talking about Tesla.
I like cars. So.
Yes.
I need that engine in my Jeep.
The Tesla?
It's not, or my engine's not built yet, but still it's got, I'd say probably 540 horsepower, thereabouts.
What?
That's how it sits right now.
It should.
It's fucking fast, man. That's what I know thus far. But I only got it running like today completely, so it's more time.
So when are we gonna do a playtest when we start out with nothing, and our progress is saved over several playtests? Is that gonna happen anytime soon, or we're gonna kind of trial out the whole skill tree?
The new player experience.
3 months ago.
Oh, 3 months ago it happened. Bummer.
Yeah.
We don't.
Yeah, we did it. That's the way we were putting everybody into the game. We were dropping into the game, allowing progress through. It wasn't until we announced our Kickstarter and started really pushing a lot more new players in that we started giving you all the stuff. Once we get more set up and we have more of a schedule of what our playtests are going to be, and we go more longer periods of time, we'll go back to that method. But in the current state right now, where we're wiping every day, we don't want players to end up in a situation where they're only playing for like 2 hours and they have to spend that time going out and trying to find iron.
Yeah, I can see that.
I do have to go out every night and look for iron.
Is it blood or are you a vampire?
I haven't found any iron yet, so I'll let you know.
Iron in space pretty often.
So is there going to be like a voxel-based shipbuilding, or how's the shipbuilding going to work?
We won't have a voxel-based shipbuilding. There's just going to be too many gotchas in that particular scenario.
I've had a lot of fun with voxel-based shipbuilding, but certainly not any necessity.
We do want to have modular building systems, so you may have various selection of chassis that you buy or you build or purchase, whatever you do with it, and then from there you can modify it in various different ways.
So the Starfield shipbuilding, for instance, looks like utter ass, yes?
I don't know what Starfield's shipbuilding
you never played Starfield?
You're kind of better off.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're kind of better off for one, but they had shipbuilding in the game. They had shipbuilding in the game, but basically it's pre-made modules that all kind of look a little bit shitty, and you can sort of put them together, but they still kind of look like crap. It would be so nice if you could build out modules like that and then have a AI or procedural skin applied to it. because that way you could sort of design with interior modules that would shape the exterior of the ship, but then you could throw a fucking skin on it with a few different options.
The module design that we're probably gonna, at least first iteration, will allow you to change, like, once you have your chassis, with basic look of your chassis, you'll be able to change things. Like if I want to have like an A-wing,
like a No Man's Sky style,
kind of different looks to it that way, and then you'll be able to apply different mats to it for the appearance itself, and there'll be specialized ones. Like some of our Kickstarter rewards are actually giving out things that are going to be specific skins for ships.
Oh, gotcha. Very good.
Man,
Yeah, I
I've
did
played
I did the
so many
Kickstarter as well, and then I just got the invite as well. So.
What is your tower here supposed to be doing, Jester?
It's a fountain.
There's a Vorion, there's Starmaid, there's Space Engineers.
I mean, it's an attempt. Sometimes the water doesn't go up quite enough.
Apparently Blackheart is on Gaia. I don't know what Blackheart is.
By far the best spaceship building is Starbase.
I haven't tried that one yet.
Yeah, it is.
Mate, I played Starbase. It was annoying as fuck, but it had a lot of promise at the time. So that was a while back.
It had the best spaceship building though.
Well, I was talking about the voxel design with fucking. Now I can't even remember the name of the game. The French MMO.
Oh, I don't know about MMO.
I'm gonna interrupt you for 1 second here. I know we're all adults here, but if at all possible, can we keep the swearing down to a minimum?
I'm sorry. Yes, please.
Sorry, I hate to be the parental unit and stuff in this, but
it's my fault.
It's a public Discord and stuff, so we want to try to keep it clean if possible. Now that I've killed the mood.
Oh yeah.
Okay, Rod. I'll cry later.
I was on a really short attention span.
I wasn't swearing at all, so I'm good.
I can't remember if I was swearing, but I assume I probably was.
Yeah, the test is over in a minute, so we'll all go cry then. You know.
I've certainly enjoyed this interaction for sure, but bedtime is calling me.
Just don't get me started singing some Frank Sinatra.
There we go.
So we'll be shutting down the servers very shortly. I've locked them at this point, so if you do get disconnected, you will not be able to log back in. If you have an opportunity and you did any kind of builds or anything like that you want to take pictures of them, you can hide the UI using F4. You can hit F10 to take a screenshot. That'll put it into your pictures directory under Playable Worlds, and our Playable Worlds Stars Reach. A great place to post those is the WoW moments in our Discord. We like to evangelize those and steal screenshots and videos and quotes from people to use during our advertising in our publications. So if you want to be famous, that's a great way to do it. Otherwise, servers will be coming down shortly. We will be wiping this evening, going into tomorrow's test. What is tomorrow? Tomorrow's Thursday. And we'll be wiping again tomorrow, Friday and Saturday between both tests, and keep it persistent between those ones. So if you're looking for a longer period of time, that's a great opportunity. Currently, we are inviting new players with every playtest. So if you've got friends that are looking to join up or take a look at it, have them go through, and they can sign up for the Kickstarter. They can sign up on our website. There's lots of different ways to join. Doesn't guarantee that you'll get in right away, but we are inviting new people almost every day. But we still have a list of a lot that have signed up and stuff that we're working through also. So it's not instantaneous, but we'll try to get you in as soon as we can.
My kids keep looking over my shoulder. Dad, what is that game? They're 15 and 19.
Working now. I just had to limit it to one block width.
Yep, now it's good. I see it.
I took a screenshot of girl's starship, and then she went and bought a package. So, hey.
Portal to deep space, not working, but oh well.
You probably won't be able to change planets.
Yeah, oh well. Good time, sort of just getting a feel for it.
Take it easy.
So you're boiling the water to make it activate the fountain?
Yeah, boiling water to turn it into steam. The steam rises up, shifts a little bit to one
I
side,
think I know what I'm going to
precipitates down, and then falls. And then returns to the
I'm just gonna
reservoir.
get all the trees. I'm gonna put them all around a base like this, and that's what I'm gonna do tomorrow on this playtest.
You made a water pump?
And that's all happening in this top section, right? The whole bottom section isn't doing anything then?
Yeah, the bottom section I use to pump water to the top section.
Okay, so you'll close that section off and move water up there, then reopen?
I already closed it off. But
You're manually heating it?
yeah.
Is there a way that you could transfer heat through like lava or something, or maybe a fire? I don't know if there's fire in this yet.
I can do it if I go down to bedrock on one of the planets. There's lava down there, and it'll auto heat it.
Oh, okay.
But there's no.
I pressed F4 and my game froze up. So.
Geothermal.
How does so heat travels through a few blocks?
Instaformer blocks behave weird. There's still a lot of things we're trying to figure out exactly. There's a concept called a lava lamp where you heat, a material in a crucible basically, and it'll stay molten for a long time.
Yeah.
The problem is it takes a lot of heat to turn water into steam, so I don't think those designs entirely work for this, but they could probably help. I just
As
don't
a
have
development
time
team,
to build
we're still
it.
trying to figure out how things work too.
Well, Raph's response to my video was, I invented the thing and I didn't know it would do that, so...
Yeah, it's...
So is there like a height limit where these steam condenses?
Yeah, well, yes. The sim only operates on a 256 meter height to it, and throughout the height there's various different temperature ranges. So at certain areas it's going to condense before or earlier or freeze.
Over time, or like as it crosses the threshold?
Over time.
Oh.
So kind of saying both basically, because as it travels upward, it's traveling through a new ambient temperature, and those temperatures are going to affect it in greater ways. So if you travel into an area that's 100 degrees, or you travel into one that's 0 degrees, you're going to cool a lot faster at the 0 degrees than the 100 degrees.
Yeah.
If you're just more diffusing into it.
Correct.
But then you can encase it yourself and force it to condense, as he's doing in this pump. Or
right.
What are you going to call it?
It appears the Instaformer blocks do seem to hold heat, because I know I've done an experiment where I heated them up and then they just sat there, and then I dropped something and it instantly melted, like they're holding something.
Yeah, they do. They are basically insulated. They don't... Yeah. Because air isn't actually anything, it doesn't seem to transfer heat. So the Instaformer blocks will transfer heat, but a material has to be close to them to do that. So when you drop it in, it instantly transfers heat to it, which will suck some of the heat out of the Instaformer blocks.
Now, is that all of them or just some of them?
What do you mean, all of the types of block?
Yeah, because I know you guys have messed with gravel and pumice, but do certain ones hold heat better than others?
The resources themselves do. All of the Instaformer ones are identical right now. But that will change in the future. We will make certain ones be different.
Yeah, and we use gravel for lava lamps a lot,
Rod.
just because it doesn't solidify. It's always gravel.
As long as it doesn't float in the air, you know?
Oh, Rod kicked me.
Yeah.
Don't feel special. Let him just use everybody on that server.
Yeah, again, thank you guys for your time, man. This is awesome. Really look forward to, possibly doing this more. I'm definitely playing the game. Like this weekend, I plan on playing it for sure.
All right, well,
we'll be here.
That's enough streaming
All right.
for tonight.
Guys, have a great night.
I'll catch you all tomorrow.
That was a good
Unless
time.
I get hit by a bus.
Who was watching? I had a few people
always a
watching
possibility.
for a while. We got to
Just
watch for
avoid all
about
buses.
20 minutes here.
I mean, it'd be impossible for me to get hit by a bus considering there's no buses up here.
Life finds a way.
I mean, if someone's going to drive a bus up